Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm laughing because this is like the third time I've done this. I'm a terrible YouTuber and I'm not even sure what I'm going to entitle this video, and whatever I title it, you may have already guessed what we're doing today. So maybe let's just cut right to it so I can show you how I'm going to try to use some of my newfound skills to fix some of my old mistakes. Okay, so here we are up by the front gate of the vegetable garden, and you can see I have all these concrete pieces here around me. These are the pieces that I made from the black molds that I showed you when I was showing you how you can make your own concrete edging. And I'm gonna put them here. The reason being is that this is my fault. Let me pull some of these pieces away here. As you can see, I've got all this grass and stuff that's grown up around the base of this chocolate vine. Couldn't even see the sign anymore because of all the grasses and stuff. And that wasn't my original intention. Originally, what I had here was just mulch, covering this up once I planted this chocolate vine to grow up the trellis here. And as you can see, the chocolate vine is thriving and lovely. Unfortunately, it's a bit out of control right now. I will be giving that a haircut at some point this fall/winter. Definitely before the spring. I had a bird's nest up in there and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't figure out why the bird was squawking me all spring long when I came through the space. And then one day I saw the bird's nest up there. Either way, I'm getting off topic here. So what I'm going to do, and I've already been playing around with this a bit, as you can see the stones are out here. I'm going to try to clean this space up. We're going to try to get some of these stones stuck in the ground. And here's one of the mistakes I already see that I'm making, kind of. But I'll show you what I'm going to do to fix it. First of all, these stones just won't be placed here. I am going to stick them a little into the ground, maybe about yay so far. But what I thought I could do was take the pieces and sort of do that. But as you can see, it doesn't quite look right. That's not really going to work. While playing with the stones, and I'm actually going to put some stones outside the gate and show you that as well. I have these pillar pieces. Now, these are meant for the rope top molding that I have, but they don't have to be used exclusively with that. And I took them, let me pull this away here so I can get the flatter ground. And I did something like this. Imagine this red, or the terracotta color. Already you could see how much better it looks, and it does seem to give a finished look to the pieces. Now, I don't have any corner pillars in the terracotta, so I'm gonna have to make some. But that's not the end of the world. But since I've already started with this whole thing, what I am going to start doing is start cleaning this up, and I'm going to start putting these into the ground. I will also be digging a hole for a pillar, so that once I have the pillars made, which I'll try to make maybe this weekend, I can then stick it into the ground. And again, give that sort of finished look to the space. I also have two more of these that I just made yesterday. And they need about a week to cure before you put them in the ground. At least that's what the instructions and the experts say, or people who have a lot more experience than I do. So let me get some gloves, shovels, and see what I can do about beginning to clean this up and make it look just a little bit more presentable. Okay, so it didn't quite turn out the way I kind of planned or thought in my head, but it's very close. What I need to do is make up at least 3 of these pillars in the terracotta color. This way it all sort of matches and blends. But I think once I do that, this will look really, really, really nice. Some of you may already think it looks nice. To me, it's a job incomplete, and that kind of bothers me. I took some homemade compost, put it around the base of this chocolate vine, use it as filler around the base of the stones. And as you can see how far it's sitting, and I could have sunk this lower, much lower, but I didn't because this was sitting so high. If you guys like the way this looks, let me know in the comments below. I still have 2 more pieces of this to put in. So what I'm gonna do, and they're still, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they're still drying. I'm gonna put them on the inside over here. Maybe just 1, maybe 2, I'm not sure yet. But I think that'll help tie in the whole look, and hopefully it'll just make things a little easier also to maintain, because now I can just edge around the stones as opposed to not edging or doing anything around the base of the plant for fear of harming the plant with the weed whacker and the grass getting out of control. And let me show you what I did out front. Hopefully you can see here, I have one of the leaf mold pieces. So it's got the leaf motif on it. I've got a pillar to start the line off with, and then the leaf, and then another pillar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these all the way across the front of the beds. There's another one on the other side. Now this one, I had to set a little further back, and I may go back and adjust the other one just so they're similar. But this one I set back so I can open the gate, and it just touches the edging right about there, and Sophie comes out. And here's another one of those pieces. Now prior to that, you could see how I just had the ground mounded here, and longtime viewers remember once upon a time, I think my first and second year down here, I had dahlias growing up in these beds. This year I'm changing it. It's going to be, I'm going to leave a section open by the gate on each side, and that will be for daffodils, and the rest of it's going to be box hedging. So somewhere in this mess are some daffodil bulbs. And I'm looking at this now, and I think I am going to tweak this a bit, but maybe not today, definitely not on camera. This will start to really define the space, define the edge. I think it's going to make it easier to keep the grass out of the borders. And if anything, it just looks that much nicer, I think. So it was quite a bit of digging and pushing into the ground and trying to set the dirt in. Now, none of these are set in cement or anything like that, nor do I have any intention to. I'm basically just sticking them into the ground, trying to compact the ground around them. Eventually, grasses and plant roots and whatnot will help stabilize the pieces as well. The reason I'm not cementing any of this in is because at some point in the future, somebody wants to redo what I've done, or I don't like the leaf pieces anymore. I want to do fish. I'm sorry, I got gnats flying around my head here. And I want to do fish or some other motif piece. I can pull these out, set them to one side, and reuse them somewhere else in the garden, and or the next gardener after me, hopefully there'll be another gardener after me, can do the same thing. They can simply pull them out of the ground and redo them, and yet keeping them so they can reuse them elsewhere in the garden someplace, hopefully, maybe. And as you can see, I still have a lot, not only of the edging to do, but also weeding and to clean up these beds, which I've let go over this year. And it wasn't my intention to let them go, but there's only so much of me, so much garden. So, but as the weather cools, today was not a cool day. It was a little humid there, a little hot, but thankfully cloudy. So as the weather cools, I will continue to make more of these pieces of edging, and hopefully by the springtime, I have at least this whole front section of the veg garden done. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, etc., please leave them below. If you've done something similar to this, let me know in those comments. If you'd like to do something, let me know in those comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Sophie, come on, let's go. Come on. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified when I do post a new video. And I think that's about doing it for today. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.